Hi everyone, I'm here with something a little different. This is a tag box that I made quite a while ago, and I just put some blank cards in there, some others that I just put excess paint and product on, and I build from there. So here I'm just showing you a few I've done, and I think there's some more in there that I've just started and sort of adding to it. So what I thought oh, and also I write down what I've used and the order in which I've used it, so that if I ever want that look, maybe on a canvas or a journal page, then I can refer to that. Um, so what I was planning on doing, I have a Facebook page called Art Journal Techniques, and I thought it might be fun to create some backgrounds on some tags, and then from there convert that into a journal page and see how they turn out, and try and get everyone, all the members involved, so that you can see how different the journal pages will end up, even when you're working with a very similar background, because you've got different colors, different products, just different ways in which you work with your products. So here I just put some gesso down on that shipping tag, and I've just written on the back what I'd done, and now using some Liquitex Basics brilliant yellow green acrylic paint and just applying it with my fingers, some bright aqua green. So here I think I'm actually just building layers with this tag, and light green permanent. So I'll leave a link in the description below this video to the Facebook page, and if you want to join in, just yeah, join the group and play along. I'll set up an album for the photos. So here I'm just writing down what I've added to that tag. So I've done 5 so far, but this is the first video that I've done of it. And I think I might do it maybe on a weekly or a fortnightly basis, add a new tag background. Just a little challenge that you can play along with. Now, for this purpose, I'm going to attach the tags with the binder ring. So, and then I hang them up on my pegboard, and I can just flip through them, see what takes my fancy that day, and then probably do a journal page based on that tag. So I'm just adding some bits and pieces of paper that I've had in my stash. I have a file folder sitting in a box next to me on top of a set of drawers, and in it I have excess paper, just bits and pieces of scraps and things that I've used, leftover bits of tissue wrap and all sorts of things, and I just dig into that when I want to add some layers to a page. So applying it with, I think I'm using matte medium. If not, then it'll be gel medium. And the reason I use matte medium as opposed to gel medium is one's thicker than the other. My gel medium that I use is thicker than the fluid matte medium that I use. And if the paper is heavier than normal, if it's a bit heavy, then I use the gel medium. If it's like a tissue wrap, I'll just use matte medium. But it all depends. If I'm using gel medium for heavier pieces, then I'll just continue to use that, even if if it's for the tissue wrap. So now I'm going to do some stenciling. And I think I'm just going to go with the same colours that I used on the first layer. Or maybe not. Looks like I'm just using some white. It's been a while since I did this tag. I've had a couple of weeks off. I haven't painted or done anything except clean in this craft room for the last couple of weeks. So I'm itching to get back into it. So here I go. I'm applying the same shades of green that I used on the first layer over the top of that stenciled area. And you can see that you can still see the stencil marks underneath those paints. And that's what I hope to achieve when I'm building layers, is that something, if not all, will show through when I'm finished layering. And you can see there that they have. And again, just writing down what I've done and used. This is the Leaf Flourish stencil by Dilutions, and going over with some iridescent green yellow, again using the green shades. You can still see through that stenciled area the layers underneath. I'm just masking off some of this stencil. I don't want it all, and I don't want really big areas, because I think here I may be heat embossing. No, I'm going to use some brilliant gold impasto. It's very subtle, but you can still see it. And I'm looking at the finished tag, and I can still see that. So that works in nicely with those shades of green that I've used. I'm just using up the excess paint on a blank tag. And that's the start of another one. Just dry it and put it back in the box after I write down what I've used. Alright, so now I think I'm about to create the focal images. I'm finished with the background. So here I'm going to sponge on some black paint over the reversed branches, mini reversed branches stencil from the Crafter's Workshop. Can't speak. And black over that background just looks so effective. So I'm using up the leftover paint on another stencil, oh, well, on that same tag, the same tag that I used the excess greens and whites. So here's a fairy stamp set by Hunkydory that I'm also, oh no, I'm going to heat emboss the fairy onto the tag with some gold. That might be glitter gold. Yep, spilt the glitter everywhere. Use the Cricut spatula to lift it up off the paper. I saved quite a lot of it. Now what? I think from that same set, yeah, there was some mushrooms. So I thought it'd be fun to have the fairy hopping on top and over the mushrooms. So again, in a silhouette black, I've used the mushrooms so that the fairy sort of jumps out. And you got to have some butterflies when you got fairies. This is only a little butterfly, I think. Tiny little one. Now I thought it wasn't quite finished, so I do add a sentiment from the same stamp set plus some fairy dust, and both with the gold. And the sentiment says, leave a little sparkle wherever you go. And that was just the Queen's Gold embossing powder. It didn't have the tinsel in it. And neither does the fairy dust. So there we go. Finished tag. You can see a page done based on that background of the tag. So if you're interested, hop on over to the Art Journal Techniques Facebook page and have a go with us. Thanks, guys. Bye.